Morning, folks. In Hinduism, there is the idea that a human life goes through 4 stages. They correspond to the 4 elements, and I think Vedic society was probably based on the principles of the universal plan. It's a scientific concept, it's not mystical, it's a logical explanation of observable phenomena. It's simply describing the natural life stages that people go through. And it's also worth noting that the Vedic caste system has 4 castes, which also fit perfectly with the 4, and I might cover that one day. In this table, the earth element comes first and fire is last, because we're tracing out a life plan from childhood to old age. We begin life as yin, the child, and become yang, the grandparent, or the parent. So these are the 4 Hindu aims of life and how I think they fit into the 4 elements. So a quick overview, we start with earth, which is the matter and the body, and its life stage, kama. We then go to water, which is action, motion and power, or work, and it's the stage artha. Then it's air, which is design, path and law, which is dharma. And then finally it's fire, which is will, intent and desire, and it's the mashka stage. But there's a lot of detail in there to get into. So the first stage of life as a child is concerned with physical pleasure and comfort. It's comfort, food, entertainment, and at the end of this stage it's sex, all of which drives us to the next level. Earth is the selfish and unproductive stage of life, as when we're children. Earth is heavy and children are a burden that we have to carry. Children are needy and dependent, they're self-centered and pleasure-oriented, and this is completely natural and appropriate. There's no problem with that. And it's worth noting that children are yin on the outside to adults, and so they're yang on the inside, so they're active, changing and full of life. And in between earth and water, in the universal plan, we have the sex creation center, and this transforms earth into water. And so we transform from the earth stage into the water stage through the existence of sex and reproduction. And the prospect and or results of sex lead to the desire within us to gain social status and wealth. So water, the action power stage, is all concerned with material gain. Its focus is status and wealth and sex. Children are the result, and this is what drives us. You know, we're at the sexually reproductive stage, and children are naturally going to be the result of that. You know, we want to find mates, we want to get a house and get established in life so we can have children. And it signifies work, emotion and people, the water principle. And this is when we become a young adult. Water is also current and currency, so it's trade and money. At this stage we're still quite selfish, we're focused on getting the things we want, and now we have the power to achieve it because we're an adult. And the result of this stage is naturally a family, and family drives us to the next level. It's all kind of a natural thing where one thing drives you to the other. And heart comes in between these 2 stages, and heart is a mirror, just like the surface of water in air reflects light because it's in between water and air. And our children are a reflection of ourselves. They are the heart and centre of our lives. So it's family, and it leads us to the desire to make other people happy. It's the air stage, it's design and law, and it's dharma, so it's duty. It's the focus of care on to one's family and one's people, I suppose, in general, driven by love. So air is the law, and so when we become a parent, we have to embrace an awful lot of responsibility. So we have to follow the laws of looking after our children. They kind of set the law, they're the masters in the house. And at this stage, if one fulfills their dharma, then the inward focus of selfishness is transformed by the trials of family life into the outward focus of empathy. The result of this stage is the transformation of the ego into empathy and love for others, if we allow nature to take its course. And there is the final stage of mashka, which is liberation, and in between these 2 stages we have the creation centre of voice. It's choice and logic, it's the question which, and it represents self-mastery, integrity and reason. It's the ability to choose, and it gives you freedom and free will, because now your will becomes supreme over your desires, your urges, your body. It's the final stage when we change from our will being led by our body and its urges into our will leading our body. And it's when we come into harmony with the natural order. So it's stage 4, it's liberation, and its focus is spiritual hygiene, which is my own term. It's basically about getting rid of the clutter of the world and all of your ideologies and false beliefs which prevent you from seeing the truth. FAWE is will, so it's when our will rules over the ego and we become truly free to choose, because if you're ruled by your body, you're not free to choose, it's ruling you. When we're immature, we have the inverted yin mind, where body leads will and yin leads yang, so this is the opposite of the natural order, and when we're mature, will leads body. Yang leads yin, which is then in alignment with the natural order. I know I've repeated myself, but it's important to try and understand that's an important point. So the lessons of life teach us that our emotions can't be allowed to rule over reason. We begin to truly be able to think clearly and make informed choices. Our will becomes single, and we focus on complete mastery over the yin mind in order to escape the wheel of incarnation. So that's it, that's the 4 stages, and it's a very good fit. The universal plan doesn't just match the ancient wisdom, it explains it. It aligns the concepts with the entire library that is the 4 elements, and it also adds the 3 creation centres, which explain how one element changes into the next. And as I've said before, I think the universal plan is the real theory of everything, and it was the unified science and religion of the Golden Age, and all religions of the world are ultimately based on it. It's the long-lost religion of truth. Anyway, that covers it. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll catch you later. Take care.